Let's be honest for a moment. You didn't click on this video because the algorithm simply guessed your demographics. You were not here because of a random calculation of ones and zeros. You are here because of a resonance, a vibration. There is a law in this universe, often ignored but always active. Nothing appears in your reality until you are vibrationally ready to perceive it. Just as a radio cannot pick up a station it is not tuned to, your conscious mind cannot find the answers until your soul has started asking the right questions. If you are hearing my voice right now, it is because something inside you, perhaps a whisper, perhaps a scream, has decided that it is time to wake up. But waking up is not what they sell you in the glossy brochures of shallow positivity. Waking up is not just feeling good. Waking up is often realized through a shock. It is the sudden, jarring realization that the life you have been living, the script you have been reading from, does not belong to you. How many times have you woken up with a heavy feeling in your chest, a sense of here we go again? You go to the same job, talk to the same people, have the same arguments with your partner, and feel the same empty ache when the lights go out at night. You try to change things, you change jobs, you change cities, you maybe even change partners. And yet, after the initial excitement fades, you find yourself back in the exact same emotional landscape. The scenery changed, but the movie remains the same. Why? Because you are trying to change the reflection in the mirror by scrubbing the glass. Imagine you are standing in front of a mirror. You see that your hair is messy. You don't reach out and try to comb the reflection in the glass, do you? That would be insanity. You know instinctively that to change the image in the mirror, you must change yourself. Yet, in life we do the exact opposite. We shout at the mirror, we cry at the mirror, we beg the mirror to smile at us, while we stand there frowning. We try to manipulate the external world, the economy, the boss, the family member, thinking that if they change, we will finally feel okay. This is the great illusion. This is the sleep of consciousness. The premise I want you to consider today, and I want you to really let this sink into your bones, is that there is no out there independent of in here. The reality you experience is a projection of your internal state. Your beliefs, your unhealed traumas, your dominant thoughts, and your deepest fears are not kept locked inside a secret box in your head. They are the projector, and your life. Your life is the screen. If the film inside the projector is a tragedy, it doesn't matter how clean the screen is. You will watch a tragedy. You can scream at the screen. You can try to paint over it. But as long as that film reel is running in the back of your mind, the tragedy will play on loop. This is where the concept of responsibility becomes both terrifying and incredibly empowering. It is terrifying because it means we can no longer play the victim. If I am the projector, then I cannot blame the screen for the movie. I have to look at the film I am running. And that film is often composed of old, painful tapes given to us in childhood, by society, by past heartbreaks. But it is empowering because it means you are not helpless. If you are the one projecting this reality, then you are the only one who can change the film. Let's talk about energy and vibration. These aren't just buzzwords for the superstitious. Everything is energy. Physics tells us this. When you are stuck in a state of fear, of scarcity, of I am not enough, you are emitting a specific frequency. Like a magnet, this frequency draws in experiences, people, and situations that confirm that belief. Have you ever noticed that on days when you wake up angry and rushed, everything goes wrong? You spill coffee, you hit every red light, someone is rude to you at the store. You say, just my luck. But it isn't luck. It is coherence. The universe is incredibly obedient. It says, oh, you are vibrating at the frequency of frustration. Here is more frustration to match your signal. Conversely, think of a time when you fell in love, or achieved a massive personal victory. The world seemed brighter. People smiled at you. Opportunities fell into your lap. Why did the world change overnight? No, you changed. Your internal broadcast shifted, and the mirror of reality reflected that new light back to you. But here is the catch. Here is the difficult part. You cannot fake the frequency. You cannot simply stand in front of the mirror and paste a fake smile on your face while you are screaming inside, and expect the reflection to change deeply. The universe responds to your vibration, not your words. It responds to what you are, not what you pretend to be. This is why positive thinking often fails. You can chant affirmations all day. I am wealthy. I am loved. But if your subconscious body is paralyzed by the fear of poverty or the belief that you are unlovable, the universe hears the fear, not the affirmation. The signal is jammed. So, the real, spiritual work is not about adding more things to your life. It is about deprogramming. It is about stripping away. We spend the first half of our lives building an identity, the ego. I am a lawyer. I am a mother. I am successful. I am a victim. We build this armor to survive in the world. We download programs from our parents and our culture about how life should be. But there comes a moment, and I believe that moment is now, for you, when the armor becomes too heavy. The program starts to glitch. You feel a deep, gnawing dissatisfaction. This is not a crisis. This is a calling. The universe is shaking you. It is trying to break the shell of the ego so that your true self, your authentic spirit, can emerge. This process of deprogramming is what we call the awakening. And I must be honest with you, it is not always peaceful. In fact, In the beginning, it is usually destructive. It requires the death of who you thought you were. You have to be willing to look at your shadow. You have to be willing to ask, why do I react this way? Why do I keep dating the same type of person who hurts me? Why do I sabotage my own success just when I'm about to reach it? These questions act as a laser beam. They cut through the illusion. When you stop looking at the screen and turn around to look at the projector, you regain your power. Take a deep breath right now. Seriously, breathe in. Ask yourself, what is the movie I have been playing on loop for the last 5 years? Is it a movie of struggle, of loneliness, of betrayal? If you are tired of that movie, I invite you to stay with me. Because, in the next part of this video, we are going to talk about how to change that film reel. We are going to explore why your mind clings to pain because it's familiar, and how to step into the unknown territory where your new life is waiting. Why is it so hard to change the film? This is the question that haunts us. Intellectually, we understand. We get it. I create my reality. Thoughts become things. It sounds wonderful on a coffee mug or an Instagram post. But when you are lying in bed at 3 a.m., consumed by anxiety, or when you are in the heat of an argument, logic disappears. The old program takes over. Why do we cling to the very things that hurt us? Because the ego that constructed identity we talked about values one thing above all else: safety. And to the ego, safety does not mean happiness. Safety means familiarity. Your mind is a survival machine, not a happiness machine. It prefers a familiar hell to an unfamiliar heaven. If you have spent years living in a state of financial stress, or emotional chaos, or victimhood, your body has actually become chemically addicted to the hormones of stress: cortisol, adrenaline. You have created a baseline of suffering. Think of it like a thermostat. If your internal thermostat is set to struggle, and suddenly something good happens, you get a bonus. You meet a wonderful person, what happens? You feel uneasy. You feel like the other shoe is going to drop. You unconsciously self-sabotage to bring the temperature back down to the level of struggle you are used to. This is why the awakening process feels like a death. Because to change your reality, you must kill the version of yourself that is addicted to the old reality. You have to be willing to step into the void. And this brings us to the most painful, yet most necessary part of this journey: the breakdown. Society tells us that a breakdown is a failure. We hide our pain. We numb it with scrolling, with food, with substances, with busy work. But from a spiritual perspective, the breakdown is a breakthrough waiting to happen. It is the universe cracking the concrete so the flower can grow. When your life falls apart, when you lose the job, when the relationship ends, when the identity you built crumbles, it is not a punishment. It is an intervention. The universe is stripping away everything that is not you, so that only what is real remains. You cannot build a new house on a rotten foundation. Sometimes, you have to bulldoze the lot. This phase is the dark night of the soul. It is the moment you look in the mirror and you don't recognize yourself. You feel lost. You feel empty. But hear me clearly. This emptiness is sacred. The void is not empty. It is full of potential. It is the womb of creation. When you are no longer defined by your old labels, you are finally free to define yourself. So, how do we navigate this? How do we move from the breakdown to the breakthrough without getting lost in the darkness? We must move from thinking to feeling. We must move from the mind to the heart. The mind is a time traveler. It lives in the past or the future. It rarely exists in the now. But the heart, the intuition, it is always in the now, and the frequency of the now is where creation happens. To change your projection, you must change your signal. And to change your signal, you must stop reacting to the illusion and start responding to your intuition. This requires a practice I call the pause. In your daily life, you are constantly triggered. Someone insults you. A bill arrives, a challenge arises. The old program says, react, get angry, get scared, close down. The awakening is the ability to catch that moment, to create a tiny gap between the trigger and your response. In that gap, you have a choice. You can say, I see this fear, I acknowledge it, but I do not accept it as my truth. This is how you break the loop. You stop feeding the old timeline with your energy. Remember, energy flows where attention goes. If you obsess over your problems, you are feeding them. You are giving them your life force. You are keeping the monster alive. What would happen if you withdrew your attention from the narrative of I am stuck and placed it, with laser focus, on the feeling of I am free? I'm not talking about ignoring reality. I'm talking about overruling it. There is a version of you, a higher self, that already exists in a timeline where you are peaceful, where you are abundant, where you are living your purpose. That version of you is vibrating at a different frequency. To get there, you don't go anywhere. You tune in. You align. You act as if. You feel as if. Not as a fake performance for others, but as a private signal to the universe. You start making decisions from the perspective of your future self, not your past self. Ask yourself today, how would the version of me who is already awakened handle this situation? Would they panic? No, they would breathe. They would trust. They would know that the universe is not conspiring against them, but conspiring for them. This shift in perspective is the key to the cage. But be warned, as you start to change your frequency, your old reality will try to pull you back. Your friends might say you've changed. Situations might flare up one last time, trying to hook you back into the old drama. This is the extinction burst of the old program. Do not be afraid. Stand firm. You are the captain of this ship and you are steering it into new waters. You are currently in the process of rewriting your genetic destiny. You are undoing generations of trauma and conditioning. This is big work. It is the most important work you will ever do. And you are not doing it alone. The very fact that you are aware of this process means the universe is supporting you. The synchronicities will start to happen. You will see numbers. You will hear songs. You will meet people who speak directly to your soul. These are the road signs telling you, keep going. You are on the right path. In the final part of this video, we are going to make this practical. I am going to give you 3 specific steps, 3 tools that you can use tomorrow morning to start anchoring this new frequency. We are going to move from philosophy to action, because wisdom without application is just entertainment. Are you ready to take the controls? So, here we are. We have accepted that reality is a mirror. We have understood that the breakdown of the ego is necessary. Now we must ask, what do I do when I wake up tomorrow morning? How do I actually live this? It is easy to feel spiritual while watching a video. It is much harder to feel spiritual when you are stuck in traffic or dealing with a difficult boss. I am going to give you 3 practical tools to anchor this new frequency. These are not quick fixes. They are lifestyle shifts. They are the daily hygiene of the soul. Tool number 1. Reclaim your morning. Most of us start the day in a state of reaction. You open your eyes, you grab your phone, and you scroll. You let the world flood into your mind before you have even taken a conscious breath. News, emails, other people's lives. You are immediately tuning your radio to the static of the collective chaos. Stop. The first 20 minutes of your day are sacred. Your brainwaves are in a state that is highly suggestible. If you plant seeds of anxiety in the morning, you will harvest weeds all day long. Tomorrow morning, do not touch the phone. Instead, sit for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Close your eyes and visualize the day you want to experience. Feel the emotion of it. Feel the gratitude for things that haven't happened yet. By doing this, you are pre-paving your vibrational path. You are telling the universe, this is the frequency I am available for today. Tool number 2, the mirror check. Throughout the day you will be triggered. It is inevitable. Someone will say something that makes you feel small, or angry, or ignored. When this happens, do not look at them. Look at yourself. Treat every trigger as a messenger. Ask yourself, what is this person showing me about myself? If you feel judged by them, where are you judging yourself? If you feel abandoned by them, where have you abandoned yourself? This is the hardest work you will do, but it is the most rewarding. Every time you withdraw your projection and take responsibility for your feeling, you reclaim a piece of your power. You stop being a victim of the mirror and start being the master of the reflection. Tool number 3, coherence over chaos. We live in a world that is addicted to noise. We are terrified of silence because in silence, we have to face ourselves. But your intuition, that voice of your higher self, speaks in whispers. It cannot compete with the screaming of your environment. You need to actively seek pockets of coherence. This could be a walk in nature without headphones. It could be deep breathing. It could be reading something that expands your mind instead of shrinking it. Your vibration is your currency. Protect it. If a conversation lowers your energy, leave it. If a habit drains your soul, drop it. You are under no obligation to remain the same person you were 5 minutes ago. This journey of awakening is not a straight line. It is a spiral. You will revisit old lessons, but you will see them from a higher perspective. There will be days when you fall back asleep. That is okay. Forgive yourself and begin again. The moment you notice you are sleeping, you are awake. You are here to break the generational curses of your lineage. You are here to prove that a human being can live not by the patterns of the past, but by the vision of the future. Look at your life right now. Really look at it. It is not a mistake. It is your classroom and you are ready to graduate. The universe has cleared the path. It has sent you the signs. It brought you to this video. The rest is up to you. If you are ready to go deeper, if you are ready to stop dabbling and start mastering this process, I have a resource for you. Check out the book To See a Superior, Your Higher Self. It is a guide designed to walk you through the shadows and into your own light. It is the manual you wished you had years ago. And if this message resonated with you, if you felt that spark of recognition, do not let it fade. Join this community. Subscribe to the channel. We are building a tribe of people who are choosing to wake up. Comment below with the words, I am ready. Declare it to the universe. Declare it to yourself. Your new life is not waiting for you to find it. It is waiting for you to create it. Go out there and change the film. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the mirror.